Hello everyone, today Fan continues to tell 5 stories about life. Please listen.
Story 1. The Hourglass. In a bustling city in South Korea, there was a young man named Kyung-soo. He worked at a tech startup where people were constantly caught up in tight deadlines and work pressure. Kyung-soo was a hard worker who tried to complete every task, but he gradually felt like he was losing control. One day, during a meeting, Kyung-soo's boss announced a big project and assigned everyone different tasks. Immediately, his colleagues started suggesting new ideas and tasks, but many also asked Kyung-soo to participate in things that were beyond his scope. Kyung-soo sat there, his heart in turmoil. He wanted to help everyone, but in his mind, the image of the hourglass his mother had given him when he was a child appeared. That hourglass could only hold a certain amount of sand, and if filled too much, the sand would overflow. When the meeting at the end, a close colleague named Hannah came up to Kyung-soo and asked, "Do you want to join the new project? I think you're a good fit." Kyung-soo hesitated for a moment and then replied, "Hannah, I really want to help. But I already have a lot of work waiting for me. I'm not sure I can do both well." Hannah raised her eyebrows. Why not refuse? Sometimes, saying no is the best way to protect my mental health. Hannah's words were like a glimmer of light in the darkness. Kyung-soo decided not to hesitate and express his feelings. He took a deep breath and replied, "Hannah, I won't be joining this project. I need to focus on my current tasks to ensure the quality of my work." Hannah smiled and said, "That's good. Kyung-soo, you know that knowing how to refuse is also an important skill." After that day, Kyung-soo felt like a burden had been lifted. He was able to focus on his work without being distracted by other tasks. He started to organize his time properly, making time for his hobbies and meeting friends. A week later, Kyung-soo participated in a programming competition that he had missed out on because of work pressure. He created a great app and won, which not only gave him confidence, but also helped him gain recognition from his colleagues. Kyung-soo realized that saying no not only helped him stay motivated, but also allowed him to develop himself better. From there, he learned how to manage his time and energy more effectively. Lesson: learning to say no, knowing when to say no, will help you manage your time and energy better. Kyung-soo understood that saying no is not only an act of self-protection, but also a way to focus on what is truly important. When you learn to say no, you not only improve the quality of your work, but you also bring joy and happiness into your life.
Story 2. The Mysterious Door. In an ancient town in Europe, where cobblestone streets, wind and ancient buildings stand still in time, there is a young girl named Amelie. She has a strong passion for music, especially the piano. Every time she puts her hands on the keys, she seems to be immersed in another world, where all her worries and fatigue disappear. However, Amelie's life is not easy. Her mother, a single woman, always reminds her that music is just a hobby, and she should find a more stable job. Although she loves music, Amelie also feels the pressure to earn money and support her family. However, her dream of becoming a professional pianist still burns in her heart. One day, while walking in an old town, Amelie accidentally discovers an old music store. The wooden door was faded, but inside, warm yellow light and the melodious sounds of classical music drew her in. The shop owner, an old man with eyes as bright as fire, greeted her with a gentle smile. "Hello, Amelie," he said, surprising her. "I know you have a special talent. If you really want to be an artist, come here every day at sunset. I will teach you the secrets that few people know." Amelie was excited, but also skeptical. She was worried that her mother would disapprove. Still, her love of music drove her to join. She came to the shop every day, and the old man taught her not only the technique of playing the instrument, but also how to feel the music in each note. "Music is life, and life is music," he said. Be persistent and let your passion guide you. As time passed, Amelie improved. However, her mother was still not satisfied and kept emphasizing that music did not bring a stable income. She felt pressured and tired, but the encouragement from the old man gave her strength. Every time she touched the keys, Amelie remembered the reason she started: passion. Finally, when a city concert was held, Amelie decided to sign up. She practiced tirelessly and invested all her heart into her performance. The night of the concert came. She stepped onto the stage with a pounding heart, the bright lights illuminating her emotional face. When the first notes sounded, Amelie felt like she was lost in another world. All worries and pressures disappeared, leaving only her and the music. The audience listened with rapt attention, and when the song ended, the whole auditorium burst into applause. She felt the love from the audience, from each person who had come to support her. After the performance, Amelie was noticed by music producers and signed to a recording contract. Her mother, although a little worried, recognized her daughter's talent. "Maybe I was wrong," she said. "If music makes you happy, then follow your passion. The lesson: stick to your passion, it will keep you going through the tough times." Amelie learned that although life can be challenging and stressful, if you stick to your passion, miracles will happen. Passion is not only a source of motivation during tough times, but also a light that lights the way to your dreams.
Story 3. Journey to the Land of Simplicity. In a bustling city in America, where neon lights shine all night long, there is a man named Jack. Jack is a successful CEO, admired by everyone for his luxury car, expensive suits, and a large house. However, beneath that flashy appearance is an empty soul. Jack feels his life is becoming tiring and stressful. He is always racing against time, constantly attending meetings, signing contracts, and has no time for himself. One day, after a stressful meeting, Jack decides to drive to a remote countryside that he has heard about. When he arrives, Jack is surprised by the simple beauty of nature: green fields, green hills, and clear streams. The scent of fresh grass and wild flowers makes him feel relaxed. He feels a peace that he has not experienced for a long time. While wandering through the village, Jack met an elderly woman named Maria. She lived in a beautiful little house with a garden full of colorful flowers. Maria invited Jack into her house and served him a cup of herbal tea grown by herself. While enjoying the tea, she shared about her simple life, where each day was filled with small joys such as tending to the plants, watching the sky, and chatting with the neighbors. "Life doesn't have to be complicated," Maria said. "Happiness comes from the simplest things. Find joy in the little moments around you." Jack began to feel the warmth of her words. After their conversation, he decided to help her tend the garden. They watered, pruned the flowers, and laughed together like close friends. As time passed, Jack felt like he was reborn. He found joy in simple tasks, from watching the flowers bloom to enjoying dinner with Maria. In the following days, Jack spent time in the countryside, participating in community activities. He helped the locals harvest crops, organized small festivals, and even learned how to make cakes from the women in the village. Every moment made him feel happy and full of energy. When he returned to the city, Jack carried with him a simple message: life is not a race to gain success or material things, but a journey to find and appreciate simple joys. He decided to change his way of life. Instead of attending every meeting and social event, he started spending time with his family, friends, and the hobbies he had given up. Jack began to slow down, enjoy meals with friends, spend time reading books, and participate in outdoor activities. He also created a small corner in his garden to grow flowers and vegetables, where he could relax after working days. Gradually, he found true joy in life, and felt happier than ever. Lesson: living simply, finding joy in simple things makes life happier. Jack learned that life doesn't have to be complicated. Simple joys from nature, friendship, and small moments are the key to finding true happiness. When you appreciate simple things, life becomes more colorful and meaningful.
Story 4, Journey to Discover Health. In a small village in Japan, where cherry blossoms bloom and clear rivers flow, there is a young girl named Yuki. Yuki is a passionate photographer, often spending hours taking pictures of beautiful moments in everyday life. However, Yuki has a bad habit. She often stays up late to edit photos, eats carelessly and neglects exercise. Despite her beautiful photos, Yuki's health is getting worse. She often feels tired, has headaches and can't even hold her camera on bad days. One morning, while waiting for the train to the city, Yuki faints in the middle of the crowd. When she wakes up in the hospital, she realizes that her health has reached its limit. In the hospital, Yuki meets an elderly woman named Hanako. Hanako is an artist who lives simply, always finding joy in small things. She shared with Yuki about her life, about the paintings she created from the simple moments around her. "My dear, health is a priceless asset. Without health, you will not be able to pursue your passion," Hanako said in a warm voice. Hanako's words were like an electric shock to Yuki. She understood that if she did not change her lifestyle, she would never be able to take the beautiful photos she dreamed of. After being discharged from the hospital, Yuki was determined to start her healthcare journey. She started by making a reasonable schedule, waking up early, having a full breakfast and taking time to exercise every day. Yuki started practicing yoga, and every morning, she stood under the sun, breathing in the fresh air and finding peace in each movement. Besides, Yuki also paid attention to her diet. She started cooking for herself, choosing fresh and nutritious ingredients. Meals were not just about filling up, but also about fulfilling experiences, where she learned to appreciate every bite and every moment of cooking. Gradually, Yuki's health improved significantly. She had more energy, her mind became clearer and more inspired. Her photos were not only more beautiful but also contained genuine emotions from her own life. On a sunny day, Yuki decided to hold a photo exhibition called Journey to Discover Health. She invited all the villagers to attend. Each photo was not just an image, but also a story about small but meaningful moments. During the exhibition, Yuki shared about her journey, about health and the importance of taking care of herself. Seeing everyone's smiles and satisfied eyes, Yuki realized that health is not only a condition to pursue her passion, but also a way to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Lesson: value your health. Health is a priceless asset. Take care of yourself. Yuki has learned that health cannot be taken for granted, as it is the foundation for all dreams and aspirations. When you take care of yourself, you will have the strength and inspiration to live life to the fullest and pursue the things you love. Health is the most precious gift you have, and cherishing and caring for it is the way to live a truly meaningful life.
Story 5, The Taste of Home. In a small coastal village in Japan, there is a boy named Haru, an excellent student with a dream of becoming a famous chef. Haru spends most of his time learning to cook, researching new recipes and practicing until he perfects them. He regularly participates in cooking competitions and wins many awards. However, in the process of pursuing his passion, Haru forgets about other important things in life, especially his family. Every day, Haru leaves home early in the morning and only returns late at night. His parents, hard-working farmers, spend all their time working in the fields, but they are always willing to wait for Haru for dinner. They often prepare simple meals filled with love, with fresh ingredients from their garden. One day, Haru receives good news. He has been selected to participate in a famous TV cooking show. Excitement welled up in his heart, but at the same time, Haru felt tired and exhausted. He had been working non-stop, and it had affected his health. As the filming date approached, Haru suddenly felt anxious. He needed to create a special dish to impress. During the late nights practicing, he realized that meals with his family, the simple yet warm flavors, were something he had been missing. Every time he had dinner with his family, the stories they shared and the bright smiles of his parents made him happy. On the afternoon before the show started, Haru decided to come home early. He helped his mother cook and went to the garden with his father to pick vegetables. While cooking, Haru asked his mother for the secrets to making dishes from the family's fresh ingredients. His mother shared, "Haru, the important thing is not the recipe, but the love you put into the dish." As he sat around the dinner table, Haru felt the love from his family, and from that, he decided to not only participate in the cooking competition for fame, but also to bring joy to his family and create beautiful memories. The day of the filming came. Haru prepared a special dish, not only from fresh ingredients but also containing the passion and love of his family. When introducing the dish on television, he shared the inspiration from family meals, from simple but meaningful moments. Haru's dish was not only highly appreciated by the judges for its flavor, but also touched the hearts of viewers. He received many compliments and even won the competition, but the most important thing to Haru was not the award, but the values he learned from his family: love, sharing, and joy from simple things. Lesson: spend time with your family. They are the ones who will be with you through success and failure. Haru has realized that success in life comes not only from personal efforts, but also from the support and love of family. Always spend time with your family, because they are the greatest source of encouragement and joy in life. Only when you cherish the moments with them can you achieve true happiness and lasting success.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye and see you in the next short stories about life.